like little router bits or something, huh? What did you get?
I think this is the one I'm looking for. All right. The Harley Davidson sign. I can actually tell the machine that I want this part, the emblem, to stand out. So I can tell the machine to make a pocket cut between this outside line and this first line of this piece here. I can tell it go down there and cut down 1/4 inch. It'll go around that whole thing, cutting this out 1/4 inch. But I use a straight bit. I'm not using a V bit then. I'm using a straight bit, just like a 1/4 inch straighter, 3/16, 16-inch straight bit.
Right.
But I tell it to go out and do that part. And then I tell the machine after that I want to go in here and carve some of this other stuff out. And I can actually make these things at different depths. So I can have this outside part cut down to 1/4 inch deep, or maybe even a 1/2 inch deep out there. Inside this first outline right here, between here and here, I can go in there and tell that I want that to be, let's just say 1/8 inch deep. And then this part right here on the front can almost be just like what this is on the very front of the board. So it gives you a 3D effect on the thing. This machine will also let me take this whole thing when I get all done. If I have this set up on a bigger board, it'll go around and cut this whole thing out of the bigger board and leave me just with the sign when I'm all done with the thing. By using a straight bit, this part will go around here, it'll carve out the outside of this thing and keep going deeper and deeper until it goes all the way through the board. It will also allow me to leave tabs. So I can leave a tab at the top, bottom, and both sides so it doesn't cut completely through. But it can leave me, say, a 1/4 inch long tab so the piece doesn't fall apart while you're trying to route and still stays stuck to the outside piece. When you get done, you cut off those little tabs by yourself. And then you have your sign be complete. It'll also allow me, if I wanted to have this to be a wall sign I'd hang it on the wall. I could tell in the 4 corners I wanted to drill holes to put screws in. You would go out here with a bit, drill holes, and then put a drill in the thing, it'll drill holes, hang it on the wall. But I'm using a router bit, again, a straight router bit. I can also tell it if I'm going through, say, a hard piece of wood, don't go through all the time. You know how you put a drill bit through, you go in a little bit, bring it back up to clean it out? I can tell the machine to do that, do it in steps. Go in 1/8 of an inch, pull back up, clean it out. And it'll finally go all the way through the thing to make the holes nice and clean. Any questions on anything so far? Anything you can think of? Everyone knows it all. All right. Okay. So I set up to do this on the thing. This is like they were doing on those poker tables in there. I had it set up to do, this was just a rough thing. I just run up the thing, got an idea what I wanted to do with it. This actually is too big. These here weren't exactly centered in there. It's because I started off of, instead of starting off the very corner of my board over here, I started in here because this is one of the first things I was doing with playing with it, and I wanted to make sure I kept away from my clamps. I had the clamp clamped over here, and I wanted to make sure this was over there far enough it wasn't going to get in my clamp. So I gave it an extra inch. That's the reason everything is shifted down here rather than where it should be. Because eventually this is going to be getting cut at an angle. This will be cut at an angle, all right? Yesterday I was in there playing with something else. I was setting up another bit, so once I made the pocket, then I could go around with another bit and chamfer the outside edge of it.
Well, you gotta like program it, like measure your board and
You
all that.
gotta program it, but it's easy enough to do. We'll all get into showing you how to program it and everything.
You gotta put a thickness of your board in there.
You
and
put
all
a thickness of the board, how deep, if you're doing pockets like that, how deep you want your cut to go in, how deep you want it to go through per pass. Anybody that watched me do those couple of things, you notice the bit was only going down 1/8 of an inch. You'd go around and cut it out, then come back, go down another 1/8 of an inch, go around and cut it out, drop in. Just like you do on the router, you don't try to cut, 5/8 of an inch wood with one time. It's hard on your bits and everything.
So you gotta have like a blueprint to start with?
Now, just got an idea in your head, write it out on a piece of paper, like this, because I've got to adjust this one here. These are my measurements that I need off of what I took them off what they had in there. I need 1 inch on either side from my round hole to the outside edge of the board, 1 inch on this side. These are supposed to be spaced out the same distance apart. This first one from the cup holder down to the edge of that's 2.5 inches, 2 1/8 inches from this one, 2 3/8 to this one, 2 1/4 to this one, 2 to this one, 1 1/2 to this one. In order to keep this right curve that I want to have on it. And I took those measurements right off of the pattern that they were using out there. But I can tell the machine just to go put those things on there. All right, I'm gonna break, pardon?
Could you put like say molding bits and that in here too, so can you kind of
That was a
step it up
molding
and get
bit.
some,
Okay, you're gonna come right back. I had bits, what did I do with them? I guess I never bought them. Pull them out. All right. And everybody knows what a V-bit is. I'll pull them out to show you. Okay, that's the 90-degree V-bit that I did all of that with, and all of this sign right here. That's the bit I did that, and that one.
So you gotta keep changing the depth on that, I guess, huh? Or you program it in so.
This is the little 1/4 inch straight bit, just like what you got in your router bits. That's what I made the pockets with. This you'll recognize as a 1/4 inch roundover bit without a bearing on it. All right, the machine does not, it comes programmed to use certain bits. And it's mainly set up for the V-bits, and it's got one other decorative bit. I don't have the thing, but the machine is programmed to use that one. All right. The machine also allows you to take any bit that you want to and teach the machine to use a new bit. And what you do is you go through there and you draw a picture of the bit. You tell the machine, all right, this is the bit you're going to use, and you give it the parameters, like how wide it is here, how tall it is up here, all these different things you even put in the profile. And the machine says, oh, now I've got the profile for that bit, now I can use it. And that's what I was playing with yesterday when I was doing these cuts. I first started doing it over here. As you can see, my cut and the dimensions where I was putting it in were not right. So I had to go back and change so I could get them to come out.